I'm here.
Oh, goody. Okay. I was just wondering if we should start without you, Robbie.
Thanks, man. Welcome to the coffee break, everyone. It's the 12th of May, 2020. Nice to see you. This is something that we're doing here at Category 5 TV just as a way of our community coming together once per day, every day, just because it's kind of a crazy world right now. So it's nice just to sit down as a community and say hi.
You
so
got
hi,
that? Guys. Hello.
That is right. Thanks for doing this, Robbie.
It's good to see you, Robbie. I mean, sometimes we wonder whether you're going to make it or not. So
it's a mad dash. Well, because I work, I'm like we're considered essential service, so being in IT, so I'm here at the office, and right up till like 12 o'clock, which is my lunch break, I'm running around, and so run up the stairs, grab a quick bite if I can, and join you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm always keen to start. I start the Zoom meeting 5 minutes before, just to give you guys a chance to connect in before me.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Oh, yeah.
Can you copy me there, Robbie?
Hey, Peter. Yes, I got your email. Thank you so much. You guys are so helpful. Because I was a desire to take 2 power adapters, and I've talked about this for my the 1U rack mount unit that I'm building with all the single board computers. I want to do the same thing where I have a dual redundant power supply. So basically 2 power supplies going in with the same voltage, same amperage. And if one dies, the other one just continues running everything. So between Peter and BP9, I learned yesterday that I need to put diodes. And Peter took the time to even do a diagram for me, which was simple enough that I understood it. So thank you. And it showed as the power is coming in to have that diode there, and it will prevent the feedback of power coming back into the transformer. So that's going to be an easy upgrade. And Peter also provided me a link to the co.uk Amazon so that I could see the product. And so I then took that over to amazon.ca because I'm in Canada. And I found a very similar product, and it's like $7 for 5 of them.
No,
so I ordered that. So
they nasty did you get out of their nasty diet because of Shockley? Did you eat one thing about Shockley? He had the brain nasty. He wanted people with that brain bad to be.
Based on what you were telling me, Peter, I don't care about the man, but I care about his diodes.
Yeah,
so,
I know that, but he wasn't very nice particularly.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I'll stick to the electronics aspect.
Yeah, we don't have to keep harping on that, Peter. It's
No, sorry.
So the diodes look good, and it was $7 for 5. So that means the reason I got a 5-pack is because I'm going to use 2 for the dual redundancy on the single board computers and 2 for the dual redundancy on my server in the co-location facility.
And 3 more guys. Spare in case you blow them up.
That's why.
Maybe I should have bought the 100-pack.
Maybe.
I have a tendency to do that,
BP9.
What's that?
Such encouragement.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I give them a hard time because I can. That's the way it works. Because you'll give me a hard time.
Speaking of
Solbu, you got a hard drive you were saying for your server.
Yeah.
I saw that in Discord. What's going on?
Just a little another tidbit. I was at my car was having at the garage today for checking the brakes. And while I was waiting, there is some local newspaper laying around. And in one of the articles, there was this photo. The photo is not interesting, but the subtitle of the photo was that this was an aerial photograph from 1862. That made me smile.
1862?
1862?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a typo. I'm sure they meant 1962, but...
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't even think hot air balloons were flying at 1862.
I should have given him $100 so that he can't blow them up.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
So I've figured been digging a little in my server, and it turned out it's a hardware raid, and it's a raid on everything or nothing. So.
Oh, so you can't have dual RAIDs?
Yeah, but this particular drive, I do not want it in a RAID configuration. It's a single drive.
Well, why don't you set it as a RAID 0?
Yeah, and also
single drive RAID 0.
And you also have to configure it in the BIOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually in the controller, but can you set that single drive as a RAID 0 just so that it's
I think so. But
the
controller, it's a 4 terabyte drive, and the controller claims it's a 2 terabyte.
I shouldn't even be recommending that. Instead, I'm going to say, for the record, Solbu, buy a second drive, set up a RAID 1, will you?
Yeah, but
what is the so-called suicide RAID? What is that? Is that RAID 0?
RAID 0.
That would be. Yeah.
RAID 0.
Yeah, but if you have only one drive in
RAID 0 is only for speed. No redundancy, no fail-safe, nothing.
Let's say the 0 stands for zero drive fault tolerance.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, boy.
If it fails, you lose everything.
Oh, boy.
They come in the last 2 months. They're not turnables.
Oh, you got them. Oh, good. It took 2 months to come in, though. Holy cow. Yeah, those are huge, dude. Is that a perspective thing because he's holding them up to the camera? Or are those actually?
No, they actually look like they're fairly hefty.
They're quite big. So it doesn't matter, Robbie. They are big. Yeah. They're
Holy
big.
cow, dude!
What kind of current are they rated for?
Yeah,
Peter?
I'm like, how many gigawatts are you pumping through that?
No, Peter. Gigawatts, Peter. Gigawatts.
You could probably put 160.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
160 amps through, I reckon. Quite easy because the bolts are about 1/4 inch thick. About 60 to 100 amps up through it. It wouldn't really melt it. The bolts are about 1/4 inch thick.
Why do you need such hefty connectors there, Peter?
Because I'm using a 25 amp power supply, and I don't want to blow up because the original ones, the smaller ones, were only 5 amp. If I put 5 amp in, I could possibly incinerate them because they just melt the inside of the.
Well, sure, but what is it you're supplying from the power supply? What are you trying to drive?
About 32 volts at 5 amps.
To what?
Those things look like they can handle about 3,000 volts.
Piece of commercial equipment.
Commercial
electronic equipment, yeah.
Okay. Clearly, it's super secret squirrel, and we're not allowed to know the details. Okay.
And I'm actually picturing it's a wooden box with batteries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pegs on the top. From past discussions. Solbu, any videos that reminds you of? Did you guys see that? My description on yesterday's coffee break. I loved it. It just worked. I don't know if you guys spotted that.
I did not spot it. I'm sorry.
At the end of our coffee break.
Oh yes.
And I hated having to cut you guys off, but do keep in mind. So that's something I'm going to start maybe packing things in about 25 after so that I don't run into that situation. But Solbu at the end of yesterday started talking about the BBS documentary. And so at the end of the description, I said, and that reminded Solbu of a video. Saw.
Well, I saw at the end of yesterday's coffee break, I did see the screenshot of the Discord thing where Solbu said, "This was so much fun. What'd you cut it short for?" And then where you replied, "That was all I saw. I didn't see anything else."
Did you see the one I issued on what we call it about a take on Apple, the Apple iPhone thing? Did you see that? Some children thing I discovered on. It was supposed to be a teamed up of Apple people. It was quite funny actually. I saw it on children's thing and I thought it was quite good. It's on what I call that thing we just mentioned. I can't think of the name of it, sorry. Yeah, I left a video on there. I think it's on there. It's
a video you posted on Discord?
Yeah, that's what Discord. That's why I couldn't think of the bloody name of it. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I didn't see anything, but unless I commented or anything. And when you see this, I'm going to give you guys a hint. When my gesture goes like this, that's my I can't understand a word Peter's saying look. I'm like pushing this thing in. I'm trying to get everything. It's not working.
I've got to think what Discord was for some reason. It did wait. But
that's one of the nice things about Discord is you can type to us and it makes it a little bit easier. And your email helped yesterday too.
More difficult, even more for me. But anyway, I left a video on Discord about.
All right.
Yeah. I talk about iBook or something.
Something about iBook.
Yeah, iBook or something. It's supposed to be iBook. You might understand the humour. It's English between I don't understand it too much.
Well, I'll look at the Discord to see if I spot it. But yeah,
I also sent you an email about Dawson as well.
Well, then let me check the email. We don't need to just keep bringing it up. Come on.
I know, but I think you forget.
Yeah. So to finish up the server story, the RAID configuration tool claims that my 4 terabyte drive is a 2 terabytes or something. So
you have how many drives are in that server, Solbu?
Right now there's 2. There are 272 gigabyte drives.
Oh, okay. So they're in the
I
right
ended
one?
up. Yeah, and I ended up putting the 4 terabyte drives in my old file server, and it worked just fine. So my plan is to.
You know what else you could do? You could get a DAS and connect that to, like, if it has USB 3, or maybe put a eSATA card in it and then access it. Although if you were going to put an eSATA card in, you could use that probably for an internal SATA as well. I'm just thinking you don't have to rely on the controller, although I'd rather see you add a second 4 terabytes so that you have redundancy.
Yeah, so my plan is to after a few months when the savings accounts is building up, to buy two drives of 2 terabytes, which
well, why don't you get 2 more 4 terabytes and then you do like a RAID 5?
Yeah, but if the controller claims that my 4 terabyte drive is a 2 terabyte drive.
Oh, you just have to format a GPT.
Yeah, but so my plan is to I'm gonna use some a year or so to get a few drives and put in there and set up a RAID 6, I think.
Yeah.
So
cool. With the controller for the drive externally will be slower than the internal one onto the board. It'll be a lot slower, wouldn't it?
Well, you could use like a PCI Express card. That would be just as fast. 6 gig.
Would it be
6 gig a second?
Would it be as fast as one on the board?
Yeah.
It would be, yeah.
Oh yeah, 6 gig a second for an SATA 3. Yeah.
And according to a few pages I've been checking, there is the possibility to turn off the RAID part of the controller, but then the system can't boot from the internal drives. You have to.
I'm sorry, Peter's filing his nails.
That's got to be Peter. I can you can tell.
So it has to boot from. If I disable the RAID controller, then it can use all drives independently, but then it can't boot from any of them. So, but there is
Solbu, you're going in the wrong direction. Don't remove redundancy.
Yeah, but
add redundancy.
Yeah, but I want to have a software RAID. I want the ability.
Peter, mute your microphone.
I'm muting you. Oh my goodness.
So I want the ability. I want the ability.
You want to do software? So you're going to go JBOD. You're going to do a JBOD setup and then use Linux to do the software RAID instead.
Yeah, because if something happened to the box and I have to replace it, then I want to take my my drives in the new system, and then it will just
I hear
work.
you. Yeah. What I would see is the reason I wouldn't go that approach personally is because then you're losing your controller's capabilities to notify you if a drive was failing or failed. So if you have, because your controller right now, the built-in RAID controller, if one of those drives is going wonky, it will let you know. And
yeah, but so will the MD system in Linux. It can send you a mail.
Yeah, if you can, but only through software rather than visual.
That might be depending on Smart or something like that to tell you it's going bad, right?
Yeah. Whereas with the controller on your like it's part of the backplane, right? So that's going to notify you visually, like with an amber light or a flashing light.
And also, I don't like that in order to if I have to if I want to insert a few new 2 more drives in a few months, then I don't like to, then I have to shut down the system in order to get into the BIOS, and I don't want that. So
you're going to do an LVM?
Yeah, that is the plan going forward.
Certainly gives you flexibility that way. Yeah. Cool, man.
So in the main server that me and Eric have, that is in a big data center, we have 4 drives of 2 terabyte each in RAID 1+0. So
what else are you using this server for? Are you going to be running software on it, or is it just a file server?
I want to offload a few of my VMs to that really powerful system.
Oh yeah.
So I can have a few VMs that is not reliant on my desktop being available.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be real good. And then get yourself a good UPS for it.
Yeah, that is the next step. I have a UPS for the desktop systems in my living room, but I plan to get one for the 2 systems downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I was thinking I might, you guys know I'm dreaming now about having, because I did the show on trying to reduce the noise in the server room, and my server is still, that R510 still sounds like sounds like your Cessna sitting in my studio. What, BP9?
Yeah. I was thinking that it sounded like a jet starting up whenever you cranked up that server. I thought, okay, here we go. That's like the VAX VMS machine that
you know,
we
when a
had
747 lands, and they got and they crank up the engine to break it. That's the sound of my server firing up right there.
Yeah.
And it's the feeling you get if you're sitting too close.
It makes your hair, you know.
In
the breeze that the fans
my
create.
eyebrows flap.
Another problem with the server that I didn't anticipate until I got it was that from I plug in the power cord and until I get the BIOS check screen, it takes almost a full minute from power on until I get some. So
what I'm thinking, I've got an old file server that I used to use at home before I upgraded my home server. I'm wondering if I could take that in because it's just a low powered system. I'm thinking along the lines of I really only need it to be a file server. Maybe I could put together something kind of cheap and cheerful to.
I'm thinking the same things when we were talking about Gopher yesterday and web servers and all that. It'd be pretty trivial to put to stick a Raspberry Pi on your network and just internal, right?
No,
just internal.
Yeah. But what if? Remember, I started a feature on the DAS unit with an Odroid XU4Q.
Yeah.
And the reason that I chose the XU4Q as opposed to a Raspberry Pi is because it supports UAS, so USB attached SCSI, which is a protocol that allows you to get 3 gigabits a second off of the USB 3 bus on an SATA controller.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you need that kind of speed for a web server though?
For a what?
For a web service?
Oh, well, I'm thinking more for in-house file storage,
okay.
file
Got
sharing.
it.
Because I do 4K video production. Yeah, I need a fair bit of speed. But I wonder if when I finish that series, maybe I should use that unit, because it's just got 5 drives in it, and I can just power it off of a Silent XU4. I do need to have virtual appliances running at the studio, but that R510 is just a beast. So noisy.
See, what amazes me is, and I've made this observation before with single board computers, is that they're rivaling desktops now in terms of power. The problem is you still have that old problem of dissipating heat. You can't run these things at like 4 gigahertz and expect them not to generate a bunch of heat.
However, you can put some fans on there that are silent fans.
Yeah.
My R510, as stupid as it is, you can't take out the fans on an R510 and put in silent fans. They're like proprietary fans, and for some reason, Dell says these things got to sound like jet engines.
I had a couple of debates, and when I looked at the current rating, they were quite high. They're higher than a normal fan. I think it was about 0.8 of an amp or something at 12 volts. The current was quite low. That's why they were very loud. I know. I look at the current ratings of a normal fan to respect to the ones that are out of a server, the ones that sound like a jet engine, and their current ratings are quite higher, a lot higher. I can't remember exactly. I think about 0.8 of an amp or something at 12 volts. That's why they produce a lot more bloody noise.
Ron, you know the answer to that.
All I heard was 12 volts only and noise.
12 volts, but they run a higher current. They run the fan a higher current.
Got it. Okay.
And the higher current makes it a lot more noisy because it's running faster, and that's what it was. It ran a lot faster than a normal fan.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
That's why they said I play engines.
Yeah, I thought it was the volts that control the speed of the fan, not the amps.
No. A normal one runs at something like 12 volts or 40 milliamps. And the one you got on the server runs at 12 volts at 750 milliamps, and it adds a lot of that. And it's a lot more power involved because I power it high speed R.
Okay. Okay.
It's almost time to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
Put that out there.
May as well wrap it up early. No. 2 more minutes, Solbu, because he's going to start shutting us down at 25 past now.
Yep. 25 after.
So now it's going to be a 25-minute coffee break, not a half-hour coffee break. So cost cutting is already coming.
No. Don't get me wrong, BP9. Don't get me wrong. It's like when we call the kids for supper. We call them for supper 15 minutes before supper, not because we expect them to come up the stairs 15 minutes before supper, but because we know it's going to take them 15 minutes to wrap up. So y'all are like my children. It's like, okay, guys, come on. It's 12:30. Gotta go. Yesterday, I'm like, okay, I'm shutting her down. Yeah. So in other words, at 25 after, let's not start talking about something that's going to take 15 minutes to talk about. You hear me, Peter?
Yeah.
I have to wait for Lanceman to come back into the chat room or into the coffee break so that I can show off the Capro again. Because he asked about that yesterday, but it didn't occur to me.
You should be able to do a search. If you go to our website, category5.tv, click on the search button up at the top and just type in Capro, and you'll find the video of the time that you talked about it and showed us.
Well, you need to tell Lanceman that, because he was curious about the video. So
yeah. Pretty much everything is indexed. Plus, I have an AI that everything that we say is transcribed. So,
oh boy,
Peter, I'm not sure how accurate it is. That's pretty well on my voice. You got a synthesizer on your tablet?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I tell you a story about that. You'll laugh at this one. I was trying to fix my wife's Macintosh the other day. She put 20,000 applications on it, and it slowed right down to almost the dot. And I took them all off, and I had to say to the machine, "You're no bloody good. You don't bloody work very good." And it came back to me and said to me, "You shouldn't talk to me like that." I said, "There's only one person who can judge me, that's God." And he said, "I didn't know who." He said, "I didn't understand that." He told me he didn't understand who God was. So I thought it was quite funny at the time.
All right, Peter. Glad you got a thrill out of it. Well, guys, so I'll wrap it up on that note. So you guys have a wonderful afternoon. I will see you again for coffee break tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So we'll be doing the show. Looks like we've lost BP9, but nice to see you guys. So see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye-bye.